What's happening, real estate world? This is Darren Franzen with EXP and Road to Closings. Hey, an inspired piece of content here. Road to Closings is all about bringing value to this industry to help you learn, to help you grow. But this piece of content about CRM, Customer Relationship Management. This is a never-ending battle in this industry. What do I choose? How do I choose it? How do I use it? I have a little bit of experience, a lot of experience in this field. 15 years ago, I was brought into this industry. I was recruited and hired by Top Producer Systems, which is one of the leaders in this industry. It's not for everybody. It is an absolute Ferrari that a lot of people do not get out of the driveway. I mean, what is this button and what is this knob and what is this switch? And I just want something safe and reliable that works. So let's get into it. CRM, when you think of customer relationship management, you just reverse the words. You are managing the relationships of your customers. I like to almost think of client relationship, consumer relationship, because customer relationship almost basically says they're a customer. When everybody that goes into this system, this database, is not going to be a customer yet. You hope to nurture them. You hope to organize them with this system and stay in touch with them with relevant, valuable content and create categories so you can actually market to them more effectively. If you actually categorize people having kids, then what you send is much more impactful around Halloween. If you categorize somebody that plays golf, then you're able to send them things around the 4 majors every year in the golf season. Or even get a little bit more granular. They like cooking, but they like cooking Italian food. So you see where I'm going with this. All right, so let's get into it. Back in the day with Top Producer, I would hear guys, I would be over their shoulder and helping them, set the system up, and they would sometimes say to me, hey, Sally, what CRM have you used in the past? Darren, I've been in this business 22 years and it's my phone. And that to me, absolutely, if there was one thing that you needed and you could use nothing else, it would be your phone to call people and to put notes in. But we're a little bit beyond that, aren't we? First of all, it's a little bit sketchy. What if this thing falls in the water and I don't have cloud storage? So what we're really talking about here, when it comes to choosing a CRM, you're going to want something cloud-based. You're going to want disaster recovery and redundancy. I want my data backed up every hour on the hour and some server farm in Arizona. I want the peace of mind that all of my work that goes into data entry is there forever, no matter what happens. Okay, so the first step, we're going to go through 3 steps. Step 1 is research and fact-finding, okay? You want to stop and think. Somebody else has done this before. So if you're somebody that's been in the industry watching this for a long time, you may not have thought of these very simple 3 steps, but if you're new to the industry, this is kind of an eye-opener for you, okay? NAR, the National Association of Realtors, my buddy Neil and I were walking around the floor. This is probably 5-6 years ago. And I was talking to one of our buddies in the industry, and he says, you know what? I just heard a stat that 40% of the vendors that are on this trade show floor weren't here last year. Now, what that means is that new vendors are creating software to come into this industry to try to get a piece of the pie, to try to get into your pocketbook. I'm not saying they're not the next best thing. They might be, but you have to be wary. You have to do your research. So how do you do that? Well, you go on Facebook, you go on LinkedIn, you find out who the owners are, You find out where their funding came from. You find out, how long they've been around. And I repped Top Producer. They were absolutely like almost a standard in the industry. I mean, the numbers are staggering. The amount of paid users that they had at their peak was staggering. And we would always kind of make a joke. You have people that pay for it, and then you have people that use it. And that's going to be on step 3, actually using it and getting the most out of it. But you want to look at reviews. All of this information exists online. So, when do you actually make the decision? When you've consumed enough of this, the reviews, the who are the owners, look at their Facebook page and look at the engagement, look at the interaction, go check out LinkedIn, and then consume enough of that, and certain products are going to resonate with you and certain products are not. Now remember, you might not want or need the Ferrari. So it may look good, it may sound good, but it just might not be the right fit for you. Do your research. Talk to other people that are using these products that you're considering. Okay, that's going to be step 1. Step 1 is research and fact finding. Step 2 is to actually pick one. Eventually, you're going to have to choose one and sign up for it and set it up and get your data entered into it. Okay, so step 2 is to sign up, set it up, and get your data entered into it. What is the best time to sign up for a CRM? If you can go to a trade show, if you can go to like an NAR or a CAR, I would recommend that because you're going to get access in person to employees. The owner might even be there. Now, I'm not endorsed by a couple of these CRMs that I'm going to mention. I know I've already mentioned Top Producer, but I'm going to mention Follow Up Boss because I've used it personally and I know it works and I know it's been around long enough to get traction, to have enough high-level users to make them a better company. They have a very back and forth, very positive thing going on there. And I know the owner personally, Dan Corkle. And I'm also going to mention Wise Agent because I know it's fairly inexpensive. It's like $29 a month. I know the owner, Brandon Wise, and I can confidently say that you're going to be taken care of by these companies. You guys, there are way too many to mention. I did a little bit of research before this call on top of my real life experience, and there are way too many. There are so many CRMs that there's a CRM out there called Less Annoying CRM. Go to lessannoyingcrm.com. That might be the one for you. Again, I'm not endorsing. I'm just giving you what I'm familiar with. And definitely there's a second tier of CRMs that I'm familiar with, like Boomtown and Firepoint and Real Estate Webmasters. There's a lot of them out there that I know are reputable, and I've talked to enough users and been in these circles with enough users to know that they're good. Now, eventually, I will mention EXP comes with a CRM. It is KV Core. It is Commissions Inc. It is it is not an entry level, although you can use the pieces of it that are going to work for you. What they've done is they've established partnerships. Now, I want you to really hear something, a difference here. Vendor partnership. Okay, you want to look for somebody you can partner with. And the reason I like having you sign up at a show, or if you can do a demo online and get access to somebody that you feel comfortable with, and maybe you can actually, you don't want to just not make a decision if you can't talk to the owner, but these guys are accessible. And what they'll do is they'll make deals. They will make, hey, sign up for a year and we'll give you a big discount. I know Wise Agent does that big time. I think it's like $90 off or something if you sign up for the year. What that also does is it, in a sense, forces you to use it. Because if you sign up on a month-to-month basis, believe me, I remember this life at Top Producer. I would get the whole room to sign up, and only 2 people would use it. So does that really help my business? It helped my business that day. I crushed it that day. I got the whole room to sign up. But what really helps my business is when people use it and they love it and they endorse it and they talk about it. That's where the flood of orders start coming in. Third-party validation. So I would tell you, sign up for 6 months or a year and get the discount, and that's going to make a commitment to you for that CRM. So you're not thinking like, well, maybe it's something else I should use. I got inspired to create this piece of content basically from a group, a well-respected group that I'm a member of in this industry. And coincidentally, they use Follow Up Boss, so they use a very reputable CRM. But what inspired me was that the gal said the best CRM, or she was actually secondhand repeating what somebody else said, the best CRM is the one you use. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know, because I agree with that at some level, but you want to do fact finding. You don't know if this is some other company outside of the industry that decides, hey, if we make this look flashy and amazing and set up a booth at NAR and spend whatever money and get a 10 by 10, we can just get a bite out of this pie. It's happening left and right. So I'm here to tell you that check them out. Who are they? Talk to people that use the software. When I talk about setup, it's usually like integrating with your calendar and your email. I'm not talking about a bunch of fancy Zapier connection over here, and your lead flow, of course, would be part of the setup, but basic setup and then data entry. What list do you have? Is it your contact list from your whiteboard that you need to manually enter some people from your phone? Or do you have lists? Do you have a list of expireds? Do you have a list of your past clients that can be exported, or maybe they're already in Excel and that you can get them imported? If a company is good, they're going to help you do this. Shout out to Be Wise over at Wise Agent. They have concierge service. We're talking one-on-one, where they will hold your hand and do a lot of this stuff for you. They also have a 14-day free trial, just like Follow Up Boss does. So check out these kind of factors. Can I get a 14-day free trial, no credit card required? How confident are they that I'm going to get 6 days in and not really be feeling it and not hold me to my first month and try to at least get the X dollars? Okay, so think of that. Okay, now this video is really about what, not how to. Maybe when I get a little deeper into the EXP world, I will do some how-to videos on conversion and KV Core and Commissions Inc. and SkySlope and their toolbox, their tech stack, right? I will probably get into a lot of how-tos, but today is just about what. Step 3, using it and getting the most out of it. Okay. Now, how do you do that? Well, it's a gym membership. I just use some of my old analogies that I used to use a long time ago with Top Producer. Even at Curator, I would say that. You got to get in and you have to engage. Like my dad would say, never up, never in. You got to get up, you got to get in, you got to get into the gym, and then we got to get the legs moving. So engaging in the community is one of the best ways to do that. EXP has a Facebook group of almost 50,000, and they've only been around 10 years. Keller Williams, they offer a command as part of their internal, what I would call in their tech stack. The command system is probably what they would consider their CRM. I'm not endorsing it. If somebody wants to come on and do an interview with me or put a comment in the chat and tell me they love it or don't or whatever, cool. But they have a massive community, over 160,000 on their Facebook page. So I just know that these communities are powerful and you can learn a lot. It's basically research that you're doing, and you're researching, how am I going to get the most out of this? You absolutely want to go to people that are already leveraging, they're already getting the most out of it. Compass uses Contactually. That's their CRM. You got Remax and their Booge. BOOJ. I don't even know what it does, but you have Realgy, who is the owner of Better Homes and Garden and Century 21 and Coldwell Banker and ERA and Sotheby's. And Realgy only has 8,000 people on their Facebook page. Now, I get it. If you were to add up all the ERA Facebook page and Coldwell Banker and Better Homes and Garden, Century 20, it would be way better than 8,000. But I was just kind of like scratching my head. Why doesn't Realgy have 200,000 on their Facebook page? Now, I will tell a little joke. It's not a real joke, but from my experience, a little story, I guess. I would sign somebody up for top producer, and I would literally be over their shoulder, and I would basically, hey Sally, hit the enter button. This button, Darren? Yeah, Sally, hit the button. And I would literally see her like look up at me and like, this one. And here's the thing, you're not gonna break it. Okay, these are software programs, again, stored in the cloud, and you don't have to worry about breaking it. You can definitely back out of whatever rabbit hole you went down into, and you didn't mean to get into creating a flyer. You were just trying to create a reminder. Don't worry about it. So get in there and use it and figure out a way to get the most out of it. And engaging in the community, I know for sure, is going to help you do that. Okay, couple things you want to look for in a CRM. And I'm not going to be mentioning Follow Up Boss and Wise Agent if they don't do the things that I'm about to mention. Okay, lead flow absolutely needs to be able to handle lead flow, whether they come from your website, whether they come from Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, whether they come from expireds. It needs to be able to handle lead flow with some sort of trigger mechanism that lets you know that the lead came in. And then you also need to be able to either disperse those leads to team members in a few different fashions. Okay, and I know Follow Up Boss, FUB, and Wise Agent both do this. And conversion, KV Core, and Commissions Inc., they do this at a completely another level. So if you're interested in that, DM me on the side. Now, a little sidebar. When we talk about teams, and both what I'm talking about, these CRMs handle this, but be careful of, if you're going to sign up for something that I have not mentioned, be careful for the per user cost. There's a solo agent, there's a 2 to 3 cost, and then man, some of these, and I'm not even going to mention some of these outside of the industry like HubSpot and some of these other massive CRM, Salesforce. Why even mention them? They're not in the industry. You need something that integrates with the MLS. You need something that integrates with Zillow. So think of that, okay? Think of integration, and then what that potential cost is for the team. Be very careful on, if you grow to 14 people, maybe your $50 a month turns into $600 a month. So be careful of that. So integration, cloud storage, mobile optimized. I think it should have a mobile app, and it should be responsive, and it should have amazing UI. The interface, the user interface, doesn't have to be extremely colorful and all these things, but it needs to be very easy to see a contact record and where the first name is and where the categories are and how do I upload a document and where's my calendar, right? So design is always important. User interface. Social integration, I think, is one of those, I can add that to the list. Maybe 5 years ago, it wasn't as thought of as being something that is everyday or important or normal, but social integration for sure is a big deal. So lead flow, design, cloud storage, integration, mobile, and some social integration as well. The last thing I'll finish with on that is transaction management. Now, at Top Producer, we used to have, I think it was Zip Forms. They're owned by Zip Logic. They cater to like half the industry. It's it's almost like a conglomerate in this industry. They work with everybody. And over 50% of the industry uses them. You have Dotloop, that's owned by Zillow. You have SkySlope. SkySlope is a huge player in this industry, and that's what's part of EXP's tech stack. So EXP's got it figured out, you guys, by the way. So this video is complete value on somebody got their license last week and isn't joining a brokerage yet, or they're joining an independent brokerage, and the indie broker says, hey, I need you to pick a CRM. We're not using Google. We're not using Outlook. It can't just be your phone. Go out and sign up for a CRM. Maybe they're even going to pay for it. But now you're faced with like hundreds, maybe in thousands. I don't know, but there are so many, you guys. Again, this is I think it's Lone Wolf Technologies. They're the one that actually owns ZipLogic. I think they're the parent company. So you got DocuSign. Is DocuSign industry specific for real estate? No, but it's definitely an industry standard. Consumers know about DocuSign. Techies know about non-techies know about DocuSign. I know house cleaners that use DocuSign for waivers and liability stuff. I mean, DocuSign is pretty rampant and pretty effective and pretty user-friendly. So Dotloop, SkySlope, DocuSign, ZipLogic, which is also ZipForms. The last thing I'm going to finish with is this a CRM? Is Happy Grasshopper a CRM? Is KV, what is it? Keeping Current Matters, the company that Tom Ferry works with. Here's the thing, BombBomb, my buddy Passanelli over there at BombBomb. These are what you call like a subset CRM. Happy Grasshopper gets close. All your contacts are in there. It's amazing emails that are going out consistent. Well, do I need that stuff, Darren? Here's the thing. If you're not going to figure out a way to craft good emails and be consistent and organize your database and send something that's relevant and engaging, then yes, it doesn't have a crazy cost to it. But the way I see it, you do need an independent CRM on top of these other pieces of your tech stack. So you look at things like Keeping Current Matters and Happy Grasshopper and BombBomb, and there's so much stuff out there that I would recommend starting with the CRM, and then who does it integrate with? My buddy Dan over at Happy Grasshopper, the owner over there, it integrates with everything. Go on their website and click integrations, and you'll see it integrates with Facebook, and it integrates with WordPress, and it integrates with Boomtown, and you name it, okay? So that's about it, you guys. Now, same thing with BombBomb. It's like, well, do I need BombBomb, Darren? And maybe I might do another video on like this crazy list of technology. Do I need it or don't I need it? The way I look at it is, if you're not going to use the text feature and create videos and send via text, then yeah, you do need something that's user-friendly, that you can go create a personalized one-to-one video, and BombBomb is pretty much the standard in the industry. So if you can afford it and you feel you're ready for it, yeah, do it. Go sign up for it. Again, there's no piggyback or skin, nobody's skinning anybody here. These are just products I know about and I believe in. Lastly, support is such a huge thing. When you are choosing, this almost goes back up to step one, your research and your fact finding. I took a couple notes here. Wise Agent, man, be wise. Some props to Be Wise for having 24/7, 365 support. That is just money. It just doesn't get any better than that. FUB, Follow Up Boss, is 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 days a week. That's pretty dang good too. You can obviously find, and this is like person-to-person support. Of course, you can find email support and videos and click on the Help tab 24/7, 365 pretty much with any product these days. Of course, Top Producer, they trim it back a little bit. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So they're starting their support at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which might not work for everybody. So think of that. Think of support as being a big deal when it comes into choosing your CRM. Darren Franson here with Road to Closings. Thanks for your time, you guys. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the Road to Closings YouTube channel, Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Have a good day, you guys.